Hello and welcome to Furryearsworld, where we are back in Stoneblock 3 land, and that is the second time I've started this video because the microphone wasn't switched on. It's funny, it's very funny. I think today we're just finishing off the string chickens so we can get some string going into the ME system, which will help with the wool, which will help with the expansion, the quality expansion of the ME system, which is important. It's important that we do that. I think we need to make more of these auto crafter majigs so that we can tick boxes easily. It may also involve making more crafting gubbinses, but initially I think off the end of this line up here somewhere we just need a bank of these things that can do some work for us. So I think that's what we're going to focus on for today. That and the string, when the string comes in, will be good. Let's go see if we've got any apple. In fact, no, we're not going to see if we've got apples. This thing is now severed from our system anyway because we broke the wire. So it doesn't actually do anything for our system. A lot of the craftables that were in here are no longer craftable. But we've got all the recipes still. So we can re-engage that. We just need to put it somewhere, which I think is going to be up there. So how many of these do you think we want? And are the molecular assemblers easily made? Let me see what a molecular assembler takes. It is pretty straightforward crafting. Crafting table. Boop. Let's make... How many do we want to go for? If we go for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, let's go for 10. Because I'm thinking about capacity on the line that we're going to be putting it on. And for 8, you're going to need a double line capacity because you get 8 channels per line. One channel is going to be powering it anyway, so you're going to need at least 9 channels to get 8. So we might as well go 10, which is a bigger number, no number bigger, that kind of thing. Is this making... No, that's fine. There's nothing in there. That was mostly about the power generation, I think, and most of that doesn't need to exist anymore, although we probably will need to make more power in the future. Can we get... We're going to need 10 formation cores. How many of them can we knock out? 10. Nice. We already had some anyway, but we'll make some annihilation cores. Dupe. Is that good? Annihilation cores 16. Good. How are we doing with the logic processors? 23. When we get low on the logic processors, ooh, we do need to do downstairs as well, don't we? We do need to do something about the nonsense downstairs, which is going to be interesting. Not sure what we're doing about that. So we should be able to make 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. 10 of these plus that one, which we might as well take, gives us 11. What I don't want to break is that just yet. Let's go find a place for these to live. They don't need... Ooh. I wonder if we could use an energy acceptor into these. I wonder if we could run these off a different source of energy than everything else on the ME system. That could be interesting. Because if we can energy accept off that line there, then we could have these bad boys kind of along here. Now that we've got 11 of them, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is a good number, and then we can't really run up the middle of it, but we can back to back them. So we could do with one more really, just to make the lines look equal. I think that would be important. Then if we run an energy acceptor onto this end of this and just bring that power line down, that should power them up. And then we bring the ME along. The ME will run up the back of it here. We could just bring a cable probably up here somewhere and along. And then maybe up here somewhere and along. and that should give us everything we need here, because there's only a few in there, isn't there? Yeah. So let's make one more and an energy acceptor and see if that ticks all of our boxes for us. Let's see how chickens are doing on the way past. The mob farm is running nicely. It is doing what it's supposed to do down there. I'm a little concerned that things are going to overspill, because we do have a backloggable point, but it should just basically lag the server out a little bit. That's all it should do. Shouldn't be anything to break the game going on over there. It'll just be mob drops not getting picked up. There we go. That's our 11th. Can we get an energy acceptor? Energy acceptor. That is what we want. Looks pretty straightforward. This quartz glass is holding up surprisingly well. We've got 33 of it. And then we need a job load of the ME pattern providers, don't we? And we need some of that advanced. I don't think it's elite. I think it's just advanced, which is fine. It should. Can we get away with one? I think we can get away with one and do some shenanigans, maybe? Maybe we could try. What's the worst that could happen? We get it wrong, it doesn't work. We go back to the drawing board, we double up on our energy acceptors, which is probably the right thing to do from the get-go, in all honesty. Where the hell did I put those advanced ME cables there? Not ME cables. Power cables, conduits. Sucky power thing. Let's make a second energy acceptor so we're not blithering around like a lunatic. Whilst we've still got the recipe up, get it in there. It means also, now that we've got that machine out of the way, we can go through the wall here. And that cuts a corner off. That's a bonus to not having that machine there. We can open up more space. We will expose the underside of this, the bottom of it, so that we can, clearly see what the hell is going on down there. Does that look about right? That does look about right, doesn't it? That does look probably about right. And then we bang a pair of energy acceptors down like that. And then we can tap onto the top of them, maybe? If I do that. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work. I need to be able to walk underneath it, so that will get me underneath it. That is up at the roof, so we can just do that. That means these should now be getting power. Which should power these, because they need power. And normally the ME cable will provide them power. But if we don't have to connect the ME cable, that gives us extra slottage. And that's a good thing. So let's get some pattern providers on these bad boys. We're also going to need the pattern terminal jobby thing so that we can actually see what's going on without going upstairs. Because we can see, clearly we can see what's going on up there. It is mildly problematic that no, that one. There you go, that's better. It is mildly problematic that this wall's in the way. But we can probably do something about that later. Maybe. I don't really want to chew through this wall into the room behind. That would be less than ideal. There we go. We've got visibility now. It's not great visibility, and hopefully we haven't compromised this area. Because there's our sugarcane. Everything's a bit tight, I think is the word we're looking for. It's a bit snug. So let's have a look. Let's move one pattern provider to start with. This pattern provider. Which has got some patterns in it, obviously. Goes without saying. We'll just pull all them out. Those are primarily all about making the engines that we were working on earlier. But there is the fused quartz glass stuff in there. So we'll get rid of that, and we'll put that upstairs. And then we need to make more of the dense ME cable. The covered dense ME cable stuff. so we can get the hookup working correctly. That's probably optimistic on my part. Did we pick that up? Or was our inventory too full to pick that up? Our inventory might have been too full to pick that up. Okay. Yeah, it's on the floor down there. Brilliant. Well done, Furry. Well done, Furry. You spotted that well, didn't you? Jeez. Yeah, we can't pick that up. We don't need that stone rod. That can go on the floor. The inventory is a bit of a mess. I'm not going to lie. It's a bit of a shocking, appalling, nightmarish mess. Right, let's get this bad boy down. If the worst comes to the worst and we have to ME this, then we have to ME this. It's as simple as that. And then we're going to run probably a cable up here from the back of that, so we can clobber a hole in the glass like that. Wasn't planning to walk through that. I just wanted to pick that glass up, but apparently I've walked through the hole. So yeah, these things happen. Unfortunately, quite a lot to me. Incompetence, I believe, is the word we're looking for. Right, excellent. Now we can put some ME cable in there. So we go that and that. And that hooks up to that. That's perfect. That can come along. That's not what we want to see. See, that's trying to apply power to that. That's what it will do if you give it a blank side. We don't want that happening because we're going to be, hopefully, getting the power from the energy acceptors. It's a different power source than the rest of the ME system. I don't think it's that sophisticated that it will notice, but I'm not quite certain on that one. It'll either work fine or it won't work fine. Could go either way. We also need to automate all of those mechanisms, machines back there. They need a lot of work doing on them. They're going to be a pain, to be honest with you. They are going to be an utterable pain. Do we got enough? Let's lose some more cobble. I don't think we need that much cobble. So that much cobble can sit on the floor. The sand can sit on the floor. It's all these recipes we've got that we don't really want cluttering up our inventory. But hopefully, pattern provider. Pattern, pattern provider. This thing, the ME pattern provider. We're making these jobbies then. So it's 2 crafting tables per. We've got 10 of them. So we're going to need another 10 of these. And 20 crafting tables. That's fine. How's our fused quartz glass holding up? Not great. We've got dense covered cable. 5 more dense covered cable. Let's see if that's enough to push us to our connection point here. Because if we can hook this one up, we can get dense covered cable making itself. There we go. That should all be hooked up there now. So we should be able to pop that recipe back in that pattern provider and see it appearing down here. We'll put all the recipes in there for now. We may do a bit of rationalization and we may do a bit of blanking because that's all about the motors and we don't really need them anymore. That's all about those generators. We're not massively in need of those bad boys. It's gone blue, so that's a good thing. Well, we'll take that one. That's a pretty good one. Quartz glass, that's the one we want. That's going to be a good one. That's the 1K storage block. So that's the Stirling Dynamo. That's the Redstone Flux Coil, which is probably going to be needed more than a lot of other things. But we can move these things. Let's put them all back in there for now. We've got them there. We can jiggery-pokery it later. Good. That's all good. But at least we can make the quartz glass when we need it. Which I think is the important thing right now. Alright, so those recipes should be in there. So if I dump that recipe and that, and we want to make these jobbies, don't we? So we're going to need 20 of them, and they take Ooh. No, we need 10 of them, don't we? 10 more. Nice. And then we need the other ones as well, which is those ones. Okay, so it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It might still be too bad. I think we need more quartz glass than we can get. And then we need 20 of these. Nice. And let's just throw that recipe in and see how many it actually does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did all 10. Good. Good. That's splendid. We've only got 2 of the cables, which is bad. And we haven't got a recipe for the cables yet. So, cable. C-A-B-L-E. Cable. This stuff. Not a big fan. That's not enough. It'll get us through the door, but it's just not going to be enough. I'm not a big fan of using up these things, the Fluix crystals, to make these things. It is painful. I definitely need to keep an eye. In fact, I probably need some warning lights to show when I'm getting down, because I'm not going to pay attention. I probably don't need to explain that to you really, but I will not pay attention to our levels of products. And suddenly I will run out of something and be left scrabbling. And that won't be good for any of us. Okay, that's good run there. And then over here we'll do the same. Can't put that there because of the torch. Get rid of the torch. And put the torch probably on top somewhere like that. That should be good enough. Got one on the wall over there. That's fine. That looks good. So we're only one short, which is better than I thought we'd be. Because I forgot that we'd already just put one up here because a bit dim. So these are all activating nicely. There we go. Then over here we can do something similar. Like that. We just need to find a way to get these hooked up, which I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. We could bring the ME cable, the dense ME cable, along and then dogleg it. But we could use if we bring it to here, we bring the dense ME to here, we could just bring some of this stuff up because we've only got the 6 connections on it, so it could be that light. It might be that we have to rethink a lot of this, because if we extend this thing this way, we're kind of blocking ourselves out with that cable. We have given ourselves a bit of headroom with that riser, but I think maybe a little bit of thinking ahead might not be a bad thing. So we need to think about, and we have got patterns in here. I thought we had blank patterns. Are we out of blank patterns? The blank patterns are an absolute raging pain in the arse to make. The blank patterns. Oh no, they're not that bad. I thought we had to use the automated shape crafting thingy, but no, apparently not. We've got 11 of them. So if we take that, so that's for crafting 2 blank patterns from all the nonsense we've got in here. That's good. We also want to make cores, the cores, annihilation core, and that one. Good. And that one. So that's the 2 cores done. We could do with doing the ME cable stuff. ME. Okay, let's just go with cable again. It's gonna be easier. There's an A in there, Furry? Just saying. There is an A in there. So we want that, just any form of glass. So we'll encode that. So that makes those jobbies. And then if we do this one, that makes those jobbies. Good. So if we take them upstairs, put them in, this should help us make progress here. In here, we're going to have black patterns. And maybe, what's this one? That one. And this one can be I'm not sure what that one is. And then the two cores can go in this one. They're going to be, actually they need to be in separate ones, don't they? The cores need to be in separate ones because they're going to basically be called at the same time. Good. So that kind of shares the load around a bit. So one machine's not trying to do all of it. We don't have enough crafting Manakawaks, these things, to cope with all of that. But we have enough to get us kind of through the door. So if I look in here now, we should have recipes for these, which is fine. And we've got recipes for these, which is fine. We also probably should look at making the dense cables, which I think is the covered cable, then stacked into 4. So we can do that if we just go with the dense covered cable. No, we just go with the covered cable, which is just that and that. Which we don't have any of those, but we can do that in here, and it'll let us get away with it, I think. Covered cable. I think if we do it in here, it lets us get away with it because it knows the recipe for that. So we can encode that. We do need to teach it how to make string, which just feels a little bit wretched. But not string, wool. We need to teach it how to make wool. I don't want to pollute the system straight off with string, but if I do book, 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 that gives me a wool. We encode that. Good. You can have all that for now. And then the dense ME cable, book, is 4 of them. Book. So that gets me the covered cable, the wool, and the dense covered cable, which is the big one. And that should work well with the string chicken. That should synergize nicely with the string chicken we're going to put in. So clearly the energy acceptors here do their job. They had one job to do and they are doing it. So that is that Fluix covered cable. That is going to be dense fluid covered cable and potentially wool at the same time. That should even out the load a bit. Hopefully that will even out the load a little bit, so we don't have too many calamities. How many channels are we coming in on? 14 channels there now. We've still got 14 spare channels on that big fat girl there. We are going to add another 6 to that with the other side of this, so that will bring it down to 8 channels left. And you can do a lot with 8 channels. That's a single thin cable run, so that's not bad. We do need to think about cooking off. What did I say? I've forgotten now. Oh, it's the stuff downstairs, isn't it? Yeah, it's the stuff downstairs for the processors that we need to kind of get going with. So let's have a look at our chicken, our string chicken, because once we've got the string chicken doing the string chicken dance, we are able to just order up the dense ME cables. And I think next episode we're going to look at an alerting system, because I think we're going to need it. So let's grab a drawer. We've got one drawer. Nice. Let's grab 3 of them. I think it's just the 3 of them. And I think everything else is wood on that one. So let's just do that. And then that. And that makes the roost. Perfect. The roost will need a hopper, won't it? And we do not have enough wood for that. We do have the iron we'd need for that. I'm not too fussed about making too much wood. We always need more wood. That's just, you know, the golden rule of life. You always need more wood. Right, so that should fill a drawer with string. We're ignoring this chap. He's just living his best life. We've got here now 17 chickens. So if I put them there, that gives me 1 over. That gives me 60 string chickens to live in the box and 1 string chicken that is going to be used to make string. I mean, the others may be used eventually. It doesn't seem likely. They're probably just going to live in the box for the rest of their lives, but... Right, that's there. Then we hop at the back. And then we need scaffolding, don't we? I seem to remember needing scaffolding for this bit. Just so that we're eye to eye with the chicken when we install him. Otherwise he gets, you know, he gets all kinds of twitchy and stuff. And you don't want a twitchy chicken. It's not what we're here for. We're not here for the twitchy chickens. Okay, there's our chicken roost. In goes the string chicken. And out comes the string. Said Furry optimistically. Yes, there we go. Good, that's working. So he's now doing the do, making the string for us. The string will build up in the ME system. Good, it's coming in strong. We need to link that because it won't work currently. And then I do think I need a monitoring system that just shows when we're getting down on some of our materials, because auto crafting some of these materials isn't going to be easy. It's going to be a messy job. Linking tool still shows the last boxes that we were working on, and as you can see it doesn't include the string, so we'll just pop that. Now it does. So in here should be nearly 2 stacks of string. 103, 105, 107. Yeah, it's going up nicely. Good. That's that job done. So yeah, we need to... We need a pattern management system so that we can manage where the patterns go. We also want some sort of indicator system. Potentially, I don't know, maybe in this wall. The wall is 2 blocks thick here, but we probably need to lose this secondary block here. We probably need to lose a lot of this nonsense, because it just shouldn't be here really, like that. We don't want to go too close to the water source here, because that's going to make a mess. We're all about the not making a mess lifestyle. See, this whole shooting match over here doesn't really work. It works, but it doesn't. It is. It's hard to say. It is automatable, but not brilliantly automatable, and that's a problem for me, because I need it to be brilliantly automatable, because I'm not that good at what we're doing here. But that said, we can craft. So if I grab out one of them, we've got an option there to craft the dense ME cable. How many are we going to need to get us into that corner? It's 6, 7, 8. We need 8. So if we craft 10 more of them, and that could endanger things quite badly. So if we craft 9 more of them, because we've got one on us anyway, craft me 10 minus 1, craft. Start. Things are happening up there. That's good. That's all good. That's what we wanted to see. That's why we built it like that, so that we can actually keep an eye on it while it's doing what it's doing. There you go, there's our 9. And that will enable us to get up here to start with, without breaking through this wall, which, you know, it's not unhelpful that we do this, because then we can see how thick this wall actually is. So we kind of want to bring it back to here, I think. I think that's the plan. We probably need a torch up here. It feels dark. Just saying. It feels a little dark up here. So we got 10 of them. So we should be able to bring this along. Doop, 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 doop. To this point. Perfect. And then we break out the glass above. And then we can just run a normal ME cable over there. And that should be wizard. Let's do that now. And then we've got it done. Can we make... How's our Fluix crystal look? 520. I don't know what level we'd set that at. Maybe about 50. And then we'd have to do some draconian work to reinvigorate that. Let's go for 20 of those. They come in relatively quickly because it's making these things, and then there you go, we've got 20 of them. Perfect. You can have those back. We'll pop upstairs, get that sorted. All our previous efforts to automate obsidian were fun. They were fun, but they've ultimately proven to be a bit of a waste of time. There we go. So they're all hooked up. We just need one more pattern provider, and we are absolutely wizard and bang. So we should be on, what, 9 channels free on that now? 19 out of 32 used. That doesn't sound right. That does not sound right. We're going to go up to 20. It doesn't sound right, that, but I'm sure it is. Okay, so I think that's the end of the episode. So next time we'll try and work on some sort of indicator lights, and we might tidy this corner up a bit because it's gone a bit ugly now. And we need to think about automating these in some way, and we need to think about automating the chips downstairs, the CPUs downstairs. So for Furryearsworld, we're going to go with a cheery old ta-ta for now.